First Amendment,
First Amendment?
that's freedom of speech, right?
I don't know what that is. I think that's the right for me to be able to speak if I want. 100% yes.
Freedom of speech is very important.
It's one of the most fundamental rights that we have in the United States. It's what allows our democracy to work.
First Amendment, free speech.
First Amendment, sacred.
Doesn't really exist, only was written on a piece of paper to appease the people at the time, but doesn't necessarily exist at all.
Love the concept of the First Amendment. I love the concept of freedom of speech, but I also recognize that just because we can say something doesn't mean we should.
The core of this country, without freedom of speech, you don't really have any rights.
First Amendment should be for everyone. It's not only freedom of speech, it is a value that we have, a value system in our country that allow us to say what we want to say within reason, within the respect of others.
First Amendment, you know, it's the first one in the Bill of Rights. It's really important, but it also can't be people shouting hate at other people.
I think some people don't understand the First Amendment. It's used as a crutch at times when people are deplorable.
First Amendment.
Is needed, but it's been used in the wrong way a lot of times.
Rights of the people.
First Amendment.
Something that's valuable to a lot of people.
Love it, here for it. And it's mostly about being able to say without of whatever you want to say without the fear of detention or imprisonment. But that doesn't limit you from consequences.
Freedom to express values, virtue, ideally shared values and shared virtues. But if not, a way to persuade others to come to adhere.
Means that you have the right to voice your opinion possibly, not necessary to just be forceful or hurtful to someone, but you have your thoughts as well and learn to accept other people's.
First thing that comes to mind, obviously freedom of speech, right? Press. But I think lately I would say abuse is one of the first words that come to mind when I think about the First Amendment. Misunderstanding of the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech, religion, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness?
First Amendment is something that I believe is taken entirely out of context and also something that most people do not understand. I think it provides us some basic frameworks of freedoms, but those freedoms need to be reinterpreted for where we are currently in our country.
First Amendment, freedoms of speech, essential.
First Amendment. Freedom of speech, the ability to just provide your own opinion without fear of repercussions from the government.
The right for a lot of things, like speech, press, the right to be able to really speak and be free.
Freedom of speech, freedom to say what you feel you need to say and share what you feel you need to share.
The backbone of our nation and something that should always be respected.
American rights. We all have rights, and thank goodness we live in America.